Hey y'all, and welcome to my channel. This is The Beauty in Jesus. My name is Bree, and this is something new to my channel. I'm usually doing like hair and makeup, lifestyle type of thing, but God has called me to do something else. So this is called The Beauty in Jesus, and this is a faith-based beauty channel. There are times where you will see me still do my makeup and hair and fashion and whatnot, but it will be solely surrounded on finding Jesus and healing and love and kindness and just all things to do with Jesus. So I'm happy to have you guys here. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm happy to see you. Today we're gonna dive into Galatians 6:2, and that reads, "Help each other with your troubles. When you do this, you are obeying the law of Christ." I'm learning a lot about the laws of Christ, and this one kind of hit home to me, mostly because I've gone through periods with friends where they could tell me things and it'd be the same thing, but I'm tired of hearing it. Sick and tired of hearing it, which brings me to Galatians 6:9. This is where God humbled me. And that one says, we must not get tired of doing good. I should not get tired of being an ear to those closest to me, whether it's the same thing or not. At the end of the day, we all have to be like Jesus. Jesus will come and he will sit right with you and hear all of your cries, all of your pleads, no matter how many times you come to him with the same thing. He will always be there to hear you. And that's something that I needed to hear. So I'm excited to dive into these two chapters. Let's get into it. So in this chapter, obviously, Paul is urging us to carry each other's burdens, but what does that mean for us today? Paul is reminding us that as followers of Jesus, we are called to help each other in our times and troubles and in need. It's not just considered a nice thing to do. We are obviously obeying the law of Christ here, and I feel like that's something that we should be passionate about. You know, it's rooted in love and it's rooted in compassion. It's basically everything Jesus is. So I want you to think of the story of the Good Samaritan. There were so many people that passed by this injured man, but it was the Good Samaritan who stopped and cared for this person. This act of kindness, it transcended that social barrier. It exemplified the love and care that Jesus calls us to show one another. The Good Samaritan didn't just offer a hand. He carried the burden of another one, fulfilling Christ's law of love. And I feel like we don't do that often today. We don't do that often today at all. If anything, we're downing someone who's injured, or we're downing someone who is going through things in life. Like, we feel like we sit up here and people who either have less or are struggling are here. And that's not Jesus's law of love. That's not how we should be living our lives. So how can we embody this law today? That's a good question. It could be as simple as listening to a friend who's struggling, or helping someone with their groceries. It could be supporting a family member in need. These types of acts, big or small, reflect Jesus's love and the beauty in our lives. We're gonna move on to Galatians 6:9. This is when Paul is encouraging us to remain in our goods, to not get tired of doing good. We will reap a harvest if we do not give up. I'm gonna read that again. At the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. This message is actually very powerful if you think about it. It's a reminder of the importance of perseverance. Paul is telling us not to lose heart in doing good, even when it seems like our good is going unnoticed or unrewarded. You know, our faithfulness and our diligence will eventually bear fruit, often in ways that we won't be able to see. So let's consider Noah. He spent years building an ark despite the ridicule and skepticism of those around him. He did it anyway, okay? Noah's perseverance and obedience to God's command, it led him to the salvation of his family. and the preservation of life. Like, without Noah, we wouldn't be here today. But Noah's story, it teaches us that persistent faith in action, even in the face of doubt and adversity, it yields divine results. In our lives, doing good might mean continuing to volunteer or supporting a loved one through an addiction recovery, or staying committed to our faith even in difficult times. Every small act of goodness contributes to the larger tapestry of God's kingdom. And in God's time, not our time, but in God's time, we will see the beautiful harvest of our efforts. I think that's beautiful, don't you? So how do we live out these powerful teachings of Galatians in our everyday lives? That's a good question. Sorry, he's yelling at us. Ew, look at my nails. Don't look at my nails. Living out these verses means integrating them into our daily actions and mindsets. And yes, I have this written down. It's about making a conscious effort to embody the love and perseverance Paul speaks of. One way is through community support. Joining or forming groups in your church or neighborhood where people can share their struggles and support each other. That can be a powerful way to carry each other's burdens. Just like the early church members, they share everything and they support each other. We also can create spaces where love and care are freely given. I think that's beautiful. And I feel like we don't see that enough, where the community just comes together and they support one another. I mean, you have groups that are like that, but regular everyday people, I'm literally sitting here by my window and there's just regular everyday people out here, and I highly doubt that 10 of them are in a support group to help with whatever struggles that they're battling right now. So I actually think that that's very beautiful. Another way is through a long-term commitment of doing something good, like mentoring a young person or committing to regular charitable work, or simply choosing kindness daily. Some people don't choose kindness. An act of kindness is fantastic. It literally pays nothing to be kind. It costs nothing to be kind. I say choose that. Or whatever you choose, you know, whatever the Lord places on your heart to do, do it. Joseph remained faithful and righteous throughout his trials in Egypt. You know, our steady commitment to goodness despite challenges, they reflect Jesus's enduring love. Something that we should remember is that living these teachings, they're not always going to be easy, but the journey is actually what brings us closer to the heart of Jesus. So by carrying each other's burdens and persevering in goodness, we can manifest the beauty of Christ's love in our lives and the world around us. I mean, if more people did this type of thing, the world would be a completely different world today. I want to thank you guys for coming with me on this journey today. And I hope that you guys, and I pray that you guys, you know, stay blessed and keep finding the beauty in Jesus. It's not going to be easy, but the journey is worth it, especially to find your spot in the heart of Christ. Have a blessed day. Bye.